End of Labour. Starmer slinging a mad reform supporter slams Labour and predicts dirty election fight. In a heated episode of the online political commentary show Hot Takes, a Reform UK supporter launched a blistering attack on Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer, accusing him and his party of entering a state of desperate panic as Reform continues to gain traction in the polls. The episode, titled Starmer Slinging Mad, paints a picture of a flailing political establishment that, according to the commentator, can no longer compete on policy or track record, and is now resorting to personal attacks and smear tactics against Reform and its figurehead, Nigel Farage. Now, Starmer knows he's in trouble. The whole party is in trouble. In fact, the establishment's in trouble at all because of Reform, the host began, confidently suggesting that the political elite is feeling threatened by the rising popularity of the anti-establishment movement. They know they can't beat Reform on policies. They know they can't beat Reform on their record. And so they're looking to the only thing they can beat Reform on, and that is their ability to throw mud. According to the host, the Labour Party has begun a dirty campaign aimed at discrediting Farage and other senior figures within Reform UK by launching personal attacks instead of engaging on substance. They're looking to smear at every opportunity, Reform and Nigel Farage and other members of the party. This is as they desperately try and seize the moment and reverse this absolute erosion of support and belief, even loyalty to the party, he said, referencing Labour's perceived decline in voter enthusiasm. The most scathing criticism was directed at Sir Keir Starmer himself. Without mincing words, the host described Starmer as an odious __ of a man, adding that literally everybody outside of the party loathes and hates him, and I'm going to say 90% of the people in the party loathe and hate him. He continued, how the hell his still leader is a mystery. But now he's in this state of what they're describing as desperate panic, and he's grasping for anything that will make him look better. The host alleged that Labour's strategy now centres on attacking Farage, particularly over his past comments regarding Russian President Vladimir Putin. The plan now is to make Nigel Farage look worse. And so they're going on about, oh, look at the way he fawns over Putin. He's a friend of Putin, as though that's a bad thing. The commentator then drew comparisons between Farage and former US President Donald Trump, arguing that Trump had even more contact with Putin but wasn't being painted with the same brush. Strangely, President Trump has had more contact with Putin than just about anyone else in politics in the West anyway. And yet they're not saying that he's a friend of Putin. Beyond Starmer, the show also launched allegations against unnamed Labour MPs, suggesting that scandals involving desperate stuff involving children are being overlooked while the party attacks others. Labour really shouldn't, be casting the first stones, what with them and their glass house filled with the most awful, terrible people, the host said. He went on to call for a potential political comeback from Conservative MP Jacob Rees-Mogg, stating, hopefully Jacob Rees-Mogg retakes that seat, as a counter to Labour's alleged misdeeds. The overall tone of the segment was one of frustration mixed with defiance. The commentator repeatedly accused Labour of being out of ideas and grasping at straws in the face of Reform's growing popularity. They are desperate. They're failing. They've literally got nothing else, the host concluded, ending the segment with a curt, thanks a lot. Bye.